Background suara.
Ya. Okay, kita start.
Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today our group is Nafisa binti Muhammad Nusri and also me as the first presenter, Atiqah binti Zarunaha. Today we will present about the effect of the personality judgment based on the physical appearance among employees in Selangor. Yeah. So we start to the introduction. So as we know, physical appearance means that outward appearance of any person is irrespective of gender regarding weight, height, facial features, or other aspect of appearance which are beyond the person's control, which are not based on recognized religion practice. Some physiologists suggest that to understand why certain physical traits are considered attractive, we need to consider human evolution. Therefore, it can be the said that physical appearance influence the environment, in turn influence personality. So if your personal appearance is good, it represent respect and ethnic to everyone. There are stereotypes and physical attraction prevalent in our society. They are based on the assumption that beauty is good. Okay, personal appearance is a complex combination of the social norms, culture, generation influence, and the personal style. Okay, this is our problem statement. Okay, the first our problem statement, it can be addressed through these wishes. Is to find out the biggest why people in our environment are initially making judgment about other people. Second, the problem statement is judgment is simply our attempt to create a hierarchy of better and less than, better than and lower than, and to assign value to everyone and everything we encounter. Third, the problem statement is indirectly, each individual has appearance of being judged through the external without them getting to know us more deeply. Evaluation through external can usually be it is not as expected. In fact, one can be better than expected. And the last of the our problem statement is the problem is when we just look at the physical, it's like the outer of the our personality. When there is an extensive perception, it can lead to the disadvantages for the individual, such as stress in the workplace. Okay, so this is our research question. For the RQ1 is what are the effects of physical appearance on employment competitive among employees in Malaysia? So our RQ2 is what are the effects of physical appearance on employment competitiveness among employees in Malaysia? And the RQ3 is how the effect of physical appearance on employment competitive among employees in Malaysia. Okay, the research objective to our topic is first, the RO1 is to examine the effect of physical appearance among employment competitiveness among employees in Malaysia. The RO2 is identify the reason of judgment on physical appearance among employees in Malaysia. And the RO3 is to determine the ways of physical appearance on employment competitive among employees in Malaysia. Okay, the scope of study for our topic is to study examine the impact of physical judgment personality among employees in Selangor, and it will be concentrate slowly to the item mentioned in the research objective and the research question. According in at law in the Malaysia, the Human Rights Commission of Malaysia, SUHAKAMS, the Federal Constitution of the Malaysia provide for the protection of basic human rights standard, which is include the children at the national level. Legislative measure that exist to prevent human rights violation and abuse can be found in act and law on the issue that either have a human right or related to certain group or society whose right may be at risk of the being violated. Okay, the significance of the study. First, we are examine the three research objective, which is the first one is to examine the effect of physical appearance on the employment competitive among employees in Malaysia. Second, to identify the result of the reason of the judgment on physical appearance among employees in Malaysia. And then the last one of the significance of study is to determine the ways physical appearance among employment competitive among employees in Malaysia. Okay, the research incorporated several critical design features that allow to provide a diligent test of our research question. This research is to capture all the physical appearance, judgment, and all to examine broad range of the personality traits. And the lastly of the significance of study is by including these personality traits, they are the important in interpersonal perception are not are not well attained by other research. We are able to examine other potential domains of accuracy in personality judgment. Okay, this is our literature review. So first the literature review is to examine the effect of physical appearance employment competitive among employee in Selangor. So the first our point in positive well-being. So according to Laura P. Naumann in 2009, judgment is the basis on the physical appearance captured in the picture of the whole body. We ask which feature the observer can judgment accurately based on the physical appearance only. Furthermore, because the physical appearance have multiple components, which is facial expression, posture, and dress, we assess the accuracy of the observer in two conditions. First one, accuracy of the standard posture picture that reduce the non-verbal expression of the target behavior, which is the standard condition. And the last one is an accuracy of the image in which the target is free to use spontaneous poses and expression, which is the spontaneous situation. Okay, the second of the point is the physical appearance. Knowing how facial expression contribute to personality judgment is important, but a meta-analysis of things like judgment suggests that many directors of the personality are also under hit. For example, like clothing, body posture by Amber and Rosnell in 1992. Following Laura in 2009, physical appearance is composed of the multiple static and dynamic aspect will attempt to systematically restrict the non-verbal expression portion of physical appearance by talking to photograph of each target. One in which target are told to stand in the standardized patient with a natural facial expression and posture standardized condition, and one in which target were given no instruction how to pose spontaneous condition. Furthermore, research show that nonverbal expressive behavior were primarily informed of the basic tendency of the individual and internal state. Okay, the second literature review is to determine the ways of physical appearance on employment competitive among employees in Malaysia. So while physical appearance can bring to people, it is every person nature to appreciate beauty. And according to the concept of physical attractive, individual prefer to approach those with the beautiful faces. When people have interaction with each other, the first information available to other is appearance, which have the strong effect on other behavior. So the factor that affect employment competitiveness is first is internal communication, which is the internal communication is ability to refer to an individual's capacity to effective communication to others. Second is professional skill and work experience. And the professional skill are essential for recruitment and important factor for determine if an applicant personal capacity match of the company requirement. Okay, 3.1 is the introduction. So in this section of the study, the researcher will give a more detail about the approach that are used to address the methodological issue. The method to obtain information of the research study is very important. In this study, the researcher will explore selecting quantitative approach, the selecting of the responder, exploring the effect of personality judgment on the employee, and quality data analysis. It is important to ensure that this study will follow the exactly method to conduct a research study. Okay, 3.2 is about the rational or selective quantitative approach. So the qualitative research is the type of the research that explore and provide a deeper insight into real world problem. One of the strengths of qualitative research is its ability to describe processes and patterns of the human behavior that are difficult to measure. And the quantitative research is also organized according to scientific method, which is that after observe the situation to be need to be investigated, the researcher form uh, a hypothesis and then use deductive reasoning by predicting how the data should be viewed. If the hypothesis is true, after collecting the data and analyzing it to confirm or reject the hypothesis. Okay, according to Tracy Williams in 2021, quantitative research help when you are collecting data for a large group to divide respondents. Okay, so for this study, would like to see at the effort obtained from various individuals and type of physical judgment according to their respective experience can also be conducted across multiple groups along with comparative analysis. Okay, for the location of the study for our group is this survey was conducted in several areas where the data collection was taken and included in the research. The survey is conducted to ensure that the location selected is focus of employees in Selangor. Kelang Valley is the main of focus in the area of Petaling, Kelang, Gombak, Hulu Langat, Sepang, and Kuala Langat is the place chosen for the location of the study. The location chooses is the strategic place where there are among them from various field of learning and employment available in Selangor. In addition, the purpose of this selection location is that this location meet the exciting criteria for the researcher to make the study. The result of the study received mesh and study choose and the responder also give the good feedback. Furthermore, this study aimed to investigate the personality adjustment based on physical appearance among employees in Malaysia. Okay, 3.4 is the selection of the respondent. So the participate if our research project will choose based on the following criteria both sides, which men and female working in Selangor are specifically around Petaling Jaya, Kelang, Gombak, Hulu Langat, Sepang and Kuala Langat. And the age is 18 and 49 years old and above who have experience dealing in physical judgment appearance. The 3.5 is the questionnaire. So this research study will be using the quantitative method and the purpose is to study the effect of personality judgment based on physical appearance among employees in Selangor. The quantitative method focus on objective to measure and statistical and also to numerical analysis of data collected via online questionnaire and survey as well as the modification of pre-existing statistical data utilize those. Stream policy is the making content and report. So a questionnaire survey here used for gathering the primary data for this study. The survey is focused on worker have affected of physical appearance, judgment, personality in workplace. Given the multi-ethnic character of the Malaysia workplace, the research intends to find out the effect of physical judgment personality among employees in Selangor. The questionnaire to the all people to obtain permission to fill out the questionnaire via the provided Google form. Okay, the data analysis. So following the collection of data, it was constructed and subjected to statistical analysis. The data were presented in the pie chart. According to the research, the closed-end question was subject to quantitative content analysis to determine the quantitative value of emerging concept. The data for the continuous measure study variable was summarized using central tendency measure of the means and standard deviation. Additionally, the data of the category measure of study of gender and other demographic information of the responder were summarized using percentage summary. Okay, time frame of the study. A survey approach was adopted to determine the effect of personality judgment based on physical appearance. The survey carried out for the 8 days, starting from the 8th July 22 until 50 July 2022. The researchers administered the instrument personally to the respondent. The questionnaire was conducted to the random individual in Selangor and average is 21 to 40 years old and above. The target of the responder is 50 people. These respondents were approached to give their fair response to the inquiries, and then the examining procedure used in this examination were purposive examining. Okay, the ethical consideration. So it is necessary to submit the research proposal to the ethical committee when to conduct a research, depending on the area involved and the type of research they are planned to conduct. So the researchers are required to submit the ethical committee application approval for together with the research proposal. Special ethical consideration are if required if the research involve procedure of human subject or animal use. Okay, so 4.4 is our finding and discussion. So for the part A is the demographic information of the gender. So as we can see, we have two gender, which is male and female. And then a number of total responder was 50 people was participate. It consists of the majority is female, which is in 62%, then male is 38%. The survey was given randomly and given to the other employees. And then the majority of those who are so this past age. So the age as we can see, we have the 18 to 80 years old, 19 to 30 years old, 39 and 48 years old, and 49 and above. So the majority of those who answered this survey were from those age 80 to 28, which is 52%. Then as many 34 were answered by those aged 29 to 38 years, and 10% were answered by those age 39 to 48 years. And the minimum percentage is 40% answered by respondent age 49 and above. Okay, so this part for the marital status. For the marital status, we have three columns. We have single, married, and divorced. So to the 15 respondents who answered this questionnaire, including single, married, and divorced, among them a total 35 people, 70% are still single and not married yet. Later, a total of 15 people, 30% were married and still working in the company where they work. And of the 50 respondents, none of them have a past divorce, which is remains at zero. Okay, since our location for our survey question, so in the location in the around in the Selangor, we have the Petaling, Kelang, Gombak, Hulu Langat, Sepang, and Kuala Langat. So the highest number of respondents are those from the population in the Petaling area, which is 46%. Among the main settlement in the Petaling district, area Shah Alam, Subang, Jaya, Puchong, Seri Kembangan, Damansara, Petaling Jaya, and Sungai Buloh. Next, as many as 22% are those who living in the Klang area. Then a total 10 people, 20% of them are those who living in the Gombak area. Hulu Langat, Sepang, and Kuala Langat received a few respondents. Among them, 60% in the Hulu Langat area, 40% at the Sepang area, and finally only 2% in the Kuala Langat area. So for the educational level, we have the SPM, STPM, Diploma, Bachelor of Degree, and Master. So the majority of respondents who answered this survey, as many as 54% of them are the diploma holders. There are as many 20% of them are those who have a degree, and for SPM and STPM, the number of respondents is almost the same. There is 14% are those who have SPM and 10% are those who have STPM. The minimum number that has a master is only 22%. So I will pass to our partner in this group, to the Nafisa. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Atiqah. We will continue for the Atiqah part. Next is a position in the company. Position in the company is intended to find out the number of respondents, which one is the majority of their positions. It has been found that 44% of them are at the entry level. Then for intermediate or experience, which is senior staff, have the same percentage of 20% for both positions. As much as 10% of respondents are in the position of middle management, and only 6% are respondents who are in the position of an executive or senior management. And next is a years of experience. As you can see in the column, we have less than 1 year, 1 until 3 years, 4 until 6 years, and 6 years and above. Alright, years of experience are intended for us to see how many have experience in their position in a company. We can see in this pie chart that as many as 40% are those who have 1 until 3 years of experience in their field. Then 24% of them have 4 until 6 years of experience. The minimum in those with experience of 6 years and above, which is 12%. Okay, so this is the part B. Part B is to examine the effects of physical appearance on employment competitiveness among employees in Malaysia. So the question for this part is, I have 4.2. Have you ever experienced being judgmental of the physical appearance of others? In part B, the research study wants to know how many people have ever experienced being judgmental of the physical appearance of others. From the data received, as many as 90% of people have ever had the experience of being judgmental of the physical appearance of others. They themselves have judged outsiders and clicked through their physical appearance. However, there are 10% of them have never had the experience of being a judgmental person. This is because they judge the person internally, not from physical appearance. So for this part is questionnaire that we'll be asking the way you describe a person. In this data collection, we can see that as many as the majority of 34% of respondents identify the person as male or female. Gender is the easiest way for us to describe how a person looks. Next, identify by skin color, as many as 15 respondents. That is 30% of them identify a person which now their skin is bright, dark, or tan. There is a total of 7 people, which is 14% of the respondents identify by race or ethnicity if needed. Maybe they imagine what race the person is. Lately, 22% that is 11 people identified the person by estimating their age range. And alright, and this question is among coworkers, who are the most likely to judge physical appearance of others? When at work, there will definitely be people who like to judge physical appearance. In this data, we can see that the language that most likes to evaluate a person is the senior staff, who obtain a percentage of 70%. Then, apart from senior staff, management staff was also selected by the respondents as the person who likes to evaluate physical appearance among co-workers, which is 22%. Next, have you ever assumed that person wearing a formal dress is a successful person? According to the data collected, the person value is almost the same for the two answers given. A total of 27 people, a total percentage of 44% agreed that wearing formal clothes can make us feel powerful. And followed by 23 respondents, 46% did not agree by saying no, formal dress code does not impact your personal life. Next is why do people dress in the way they do? From the data collected, we can see the respondents' opinions regarding.
Sorry.
Alright, okay. Okay, start again. Why do people dress in the way they do? From the data collected, we can see the respondents' opinions regarding why people dress according to their taste. The majority of respondents, 26 people, which 52% agree that they dress like that because they are confident, while as many as 26% of them agree that this way of dressing shows the level of success of a person. Finally, only 22% of respondents agreed that they dress only for comfort and protection. And next is our closing reveals message about our characteristics and personality. According to the data collected, we can see that how we dress right now reveals message about our characteristics and personality. Based on the pie chart above, we can see that the answers received from both answers are equal. 50% agree that it has an effect on our personality, and another 50% disagree with the statement given. Next is, do you dress to enhance your popularity or to make people like you? According to the data collected above, we want to see whether your dress is to enhance your popularity or to make people like you. According to the data received, as many as 65% of people sometimes style their clothes to enhance popularity. Then connected with 23% of people who chose never as their answer choices, but as many as 12% chose always, and this shows that 12% of these respondents like to be stylish to enhance popularity or to make people like them. Next is do you often compare your physical appearance to the appearance of others? We can see that 62% of the 31 people prefer the answer sometimes. This shows that sometimes they compare their physical appearance with others. In addition, as many as 24%, that is 12 people, have never been able to compare because they have a physical appearance to the appearance of others. Finally, there are 14% are 7 people who always compare their physical appearance to the appearance of others. We'll move to the part B. Part B is to identify the reason of judgment of physical appearance among employees in Malaysia. 4.2.1, I think discrimination can occur through marital status. For example, when a person experiences workplace discrimination because of the characteristics of a person to whom they are married. Based in the data collected, we can see reason judgment can occur through marital status. The majority of them, 38%, choose the neutral. Other 36% are agree why the workplace discrimination happened on workplace. In addition, as many as 20% of respondents stated they rate for disagree. For this reason, a marital status happened after marriage. Next, as many as 6 of them viewed 6% for respondents who strongly agreed. Alright, next. Okay. I think one of judgment physical appearance happens when the religious discrimination occurs when employee or applicants are treated unfairly because of their religious belief. Based on the data collected above, the pie chart shows that 56 respondents agree that religious discrimination can be happen when employees or applicants are treated unfairly of their religious belief. Okay, next slide is I for the question which is I think the judgment physical need to appearance discrimination also raises difficult questions for the legal system in Malaysia. Based on the data collected, the pie chart shows that 60% of respondents agree that the physical need for appearance discrimination in the legal system in Malaysia. Okay, alright, next. I think the physical appearance can affect your chance or at success in the workplace. Based on the data collected above, the pie chart shows that 52% respondents agree that the physical can affect success in our workplace. Without the confidence, can make our self-esteem can down with people talking. Alright, next we'll move to the 5.1, which is a summary of research findings and discussion of research question 1 and research question 1. The judgment of physical appearance among employees should be taken seriously because almost 90% of them have had the experience of being judged on their physical appearance, where the results can be quite high when compared to those who have never had experience with this case. As employees, we need to use goodness in this non-verbal communication to understand what the best physical appearance is. Second is in this research, we found that as many as 78% are senior staff who like to judge the physical appearance of others. Indirectly, here we get the thinking among these employees. If they are the older ones in a company, then they have the right to do anything to those who have just entered work or those at the entry level. Among the ways we describe a person's need to be more careful, sometimes it can include two sensitive issues, but a total of 34% of respondents state that they identified a person whether the person was male or female. In this way, the recognition is easier because, of course, we can see the difference whether the person is male or female. This questionnaire have a question where they assume that a person wearing a formal dress is a successful person. 5.2 Summary of research finding and discussion of research question 2 and research objective 2. Based on our questionnaire survey, it shows many people have their own perception in physical appearance personality among employees in Selangor. The higher gender survey is female with 62% and also the male 38%. It couldn't be achieved through educational to enhance people awareness of physical judgment personalities in Malaysia in higher education institutes and also the working both side employees in public and private sector all the company in Malaysia. The country's largest employer with nearly million people employees, the government as the largest employees in the country with nearly people workers could take the significant lead by enforcing clear policies and procedure to make all the employees have their rights to protect ourselves when we affect judgment on workplace. The majority of respondents who chose neutral in each question, this indicates that they have previously made or received a statement. Most respondents dressed to increase their popularity and some of them constantly compared their physical appearance to that of others. 50% of 50% of respondents always compare to determine why the physical appearance can occur in Malaysia. 5.3 is a summary of research findings and discussion of research question 1 and research objective 3. According to the study findings, the highest 84% of respondents agree and aware of and take note of any judgment on physical appearance among women and think it can affect their career. This is due to the fact that any unusual behavior can cause problems in the workplace. This was followed by 80% of respondents who think that physical appearance can affect their job. According to the findings of analysis, respondents state 73.5% of those polled agreed that physical appearance are important, while 72% polled agree on the physical appearance play a big role in society. Respondents also state that 66% agreed on physical appearance can influence perception of other traits. Implication of study. According to the findings of the study, physical appearance judgment does occur. A woman's face physical appearance judgment more than men's. This community lack of knowledge and exposure to physical appearance judgment makes it difficult for them to label any physical appearance as a personality judgment. In conclusion, employees must be aware with their appearance, such as dress code, to the workplace situation. Limitation of study. One can conceive human conduct without understanding the system inside which subjects analyze their contemplations, sentiments, and activities. Specialists need to be comprehend this system. Second, the failure to sum up the examination result past the particular population from which the example was drawn due to the uniqueness of little amount of the example utilized in the investigation, the powerlessness of the researchers to get genuine reaction from respondents. Third, past researchers have not been able to imitative meaning from experimental research. The research technique themselves in experimental research can affect the findings. The questionnaire can become a source. Here is the recommendation of the future research. Leaders should take proactive measures to decrease the personality judgment based on physical appearance by achieving more gender and racial equity in recruiting in recruiting and promotions. Business thought to use preparing approach that adopt abilities among members to block and mediate when improper conduct happen. These preparations projects are thought to be assessed to discourage as a method of resolving the most prevalent kind of physical appearance judgment and avoiding other types of personality judgments. Corporate leaders should pay more attention to and evaluate rules that include personality judgments. Employers and government authorities should go beyond simple legal compliance actions or policies that rely exclusively on official reporting from targets. Physical appearance judgment is one of a major culture and climate issue that requires individuals engaging with and listening to the judgments.
Okay.
Alright, and so this is the last slide for our presentation today. Thank you so much for lending your ears for this presentation. That's all from me, Nurul Nafisa binti Muhammad Yusri.
And also for me, Nur Atiqah binti Zarunaha. So, thank you.
Thank you.